Good morning. How's everybody this morning? Good. We want to spend some time today talking about the benefits package that the company provides for all the employees. Benefits are very important. It's a really important piece of your health and welfare, and the company takes providing the benefits very seriously. Our benefits package is great. It's comprehensive. It covers all different kinds of things that you might need for it to cover. And I want to make sure we take a little time and explain it to you. One of my frustrations with benefits is because benefits are so regulated, the documentation that we provide often has to be very technical. And I think in that technical documentation, sometimes we miss what the real benefit of the benefit is. So what I'm going to try to do this morning is speak in as plain a language as I can get away with. We want to help you understand each of the pieces of the benefits package and how they all fit together. So let's get started. Preventative and wellness care is a really important piece of what we do. And there's three elements to that I'd like to talk about this morning. The first one is our telemedicine program. Telemedicine is an amazing technological tool. It is free primary medical care. And with our telemedicine program, either with a toll-free number, a smartphone, a tablet, or a computer, within just a few minutes, you can be talking to a board-certified physician no matter where you are in the country. That's very important. If you're in a state and you need a prescription, the doctor that you're talking to has to be certified in that state in order to write the script. So, a couple of ideas or a scenario. Let's say you're on vacation, but you happen to be out of the state and something's going wrong. Maybe you've got a sinus infection and you really need to get some help to get past it so you can continue to enjoy your vacation. With our telemedicine program, you call a toll-free number. Within 10 or 15 minutes, usually, you'll be connected with a board-certified doctor. They can figure out pretty quickly if a prescription is something that can help you or not. Also, if they think you need to be seen by a doctor, they can give you direction to go into a local medical facility. Most often, for something that's very straightforward, if a prescription can help, they will phone it in to a pharmacy that's close to wherever you are, and you can get on with your life. Our telemedicine program is awesome. You're automatically enrolled in the telemedicine program when you join the company, and you don't have to pay anything. $0, 0 cents a month. Your dependents, including a spouse or dependent children, are automatically paid for, but you will have to call and enroll them. It's a very straightforward process. It just takes a couple of minutes. It's a great program. I don't see enough employees taking advantage of it. Our utilization rate is much lower than it should be. And I think that people don't always understand when you get connected with somebody, you really are talking with the doctor. Pretty amazing program. And it's a great use of technology. If you're having a heart attack, please don't use telemedicine. If you have a broken bone, there's nothing they can do to help you over the internet. And if you've got a head cold or a sniffle, or one of the best examples is if you have a small child. It's the middle of the night, they're sick, and you're not sure if you need to go in and see a doctor or not. It's a really stressful time for parents. One call to telemedicine, and they can tell you whether it makes sense to go into the emergency room. Emergency room visits are expensive. That's a lot of money. In most cases, it's over $1,000 to go into an ER in the middle of the night. Wouldn't you sleep better if you had a chance to talk to a physician and he told you that your child's going to be fine? You can go see your regular doctor tomorrow morning. Most of those calls cost somewhere in the neighborhood of $300. So it's a huge difference in cost. The second piece of preventative and wellness for us is a health assessment. We work with a health assessment company. They come directly into all of our branches. The assessment itself takes about 15 minutes, and the company pays for it. So you don't have to do anything out of pocket. If you'll give 15 minutes, they do a simple blood draw, and in just a couple of weeks, you'll get a call back from a nurse who will go through the report with you. This is your private information. If you choose to do it, there's no copy of it in the Human Resources Department. We can't and don't want to look at it. But it is very powerful information for all of you to take advantage of and also to start to drive your own health. So the health assessment's a great program. One of the reasons why I love that program, we absolutely have saved lives. We've gotten reports back with blood markers from individual employees that made it very clear that they were just about to have a heart attack. Like, don't walk or run, have somebody else drive you to the hospital because you might not make it there on your own. Literally saved lives. Blood markers that have found early markers of cancer and allowed us to do early treatment programs that got the employee healthy, back to their family, and eventually back to work. So I hope you'll take advantage of the health assessment. If you do, the company gives a $50 a month reduction in your premium for your health insurance. Again, we don't get any information from the health assessment. That is your private information. But we're willing to pay you to do it, and we pay for the assessment. So it costs you nothing, actually makes you money. So it's a great deal. The third piece, really enjoy this piece as well, is our employee assistance program. None of us know what we're going to need. Sometimes you need legal help. Sometimes you need counseling. You might have a family member that has a drug or alcohol problem, and you're not sure where to start. The Employee Assistance Program provides an 800 number, a toll-free number. And for things that Interstate is not good at and we're not going to staff for, we don't have psychologists on staff, we don't have lawyers on staff that are available to handle problems for employees. It is a way for you to get started and for you to get connected to resources that can really help you solve some problems. It is not a promise on behalf of the company that we will ride through your legal problem for you and cover your bills. Please don't hear that. But if you have no idea how to get in touch with an attorney and you need one desperately, the Employee Assistance Program is great for things like that. If you need to get started with a counselor or one of your family members needs some help, those resources are available for you to use and get started. Again, your life, your choice. You can choose to continue with that resource or find a different one. Our job is to help you get connected with resources when you need them. So I hope that you all dive in a little bit with the preventative and wellness benefits, spend a little time getting to know about them, and use them. Next up, my favorite topic, health insurance. Health insurance is absolutely critically necessary. You know, a handful of years ago, the United States government put a law in place that requires all of us to carry insurance. And this is now a very regulated market. There are some good things that came along with that and some not so good things that came along with that. Let's just recognize right up front one of the not so good things. It's made healthcare really expensive. Really expensive for the company and really expensive for you. It's a big strain on family budgets, and candidly, it's a big strain on the company's budget. We have spent more money every year, every single year. And some of the gains that we all hoped to make with the new healthcare programs that are in place just have not shown up yet. One of the reasons, I think, why we have not seen some of the gains is that people are not taking full advantage of the health screening that is no additional charge. There are so many things that we can do now with our health insurance that we didn't used to be able to do. An annual physical generally costs you no additional money beyond your premium. Well, baby care is absolutely covered. There are so many things that we can do with our health insurance that we didn't used to do, but almost all of them are preventative. That means you're not reacting to a health problem. You're making a decision to go do something positive, to be better informed, or to learn a little something extra about yourself. So I want to encourage everybody to take advantage of those things in our medical insurance. The other thing, the new medical insurance programs have well over 100 pharmaceutical compounds that are designed to help you live a better life. Better living through chemistry, right? If you suffer from high blood pressure, if you have high cholesterol, common things that any one of us in the room might need, those prescriptions can be offered to you at no additional charge. So please take advantage of those things. The health insurance itself, let me ask everybody a question. How many of you have ever gotten a call at the end of the year from the health insurance company that says, congratulations, you didn't go to the doctor once, we're going to send you a check back for half of your premium? Doesn't happen. Never will happen. So one of the things that we try to do to help you is actually take a look at how you are using health insurance. So when these programs all started, we don't get to see your personal, private health information, but we do get to see what kinds of claims are being made against our health insurance program. That's been very useful for us because we get to see how you're actually choosing to use it. That is one of the reasons why our telemedicine program started. As we were looking at how you were actually using your health insurance, what we learned is that most of the claims were primary medical visits to a doctor at about $350 a pop, $300 to $350. And those were things that were counting against your deductible, but that was cash out of your pocket. So we put the telemedicine program in and the company pays for it completely. It costs you nothing, $0, 0 cents in premiums. So you get to choose. If you want to go see a doctor, that's $350. If you can use telemedicine, it'll cost you nothing. And there's no cost for the call. So these two things are really designed to work together. And that's important to understand. In addition to the health insurance, because our plans are high deductible, we have health savings accounts. We also have what's called FSAs, flexible spending accounts. Both of these are medical savings accounts. So I want you to think about the health savings account as a 401k for medical expenses. It is a pre-tax deduction, so it's very powerful from a dollar's perspective. And you are allowed to take deductions just like you do for a 401k. Put that money in your health savings account, and you can use that to pay for those bills if and when they come. My hope is that you don't have any medical bills, that you don't have anything that goes on that requires you to go see a doctor. But if you do, the HSA offers us an opportunity to put some money aside for you on a pre-tax basis. And the company will match up to a certain dollar amount at 50%. You put in $100, we'll put in 50. So it's an amazing benefit. The HSA, unlike the flexible spending accounts, the HSA is not a use it or lose it account. It is your money, and it will roll over from year to year. It also, I hope you want to work with us for the rest of forever, but if you leave the company, the HSA is yours to take, just like your 401k, including the match that our company gives you. That's a gift to encourage people to save in that way. So a flexible spending account has very different rules, and the most important thing to remember about the FSAs is they are a use it or lose it account. If you put money in the FSA and you don't use it by the end of the year, it magically goes someplace. I still haven't been able to figure out where the money goes, but it doesn't go to us. In addition to the medical insurance, we've also got the HSA, the FSA, we've got dental and vision. And details of the dental and vision plans are available through Human Resources. Your 401k is a really important benefit. One of the most important things to remember about the 401k is that it's pre-tax dollars. What does that mean? It means that a dollar that comes out and goes into your 401k, on the day that you pull it out and put it to work as an investment, you pay no tax. It grows without tax way faster than it would grow after tax. I encourage everybody to take advantage of our 401k. It's a tremendous program. When you come to work for the company, we automatically enroll you in the program at a 3% level. You can increase that or decrease that. It's completely up to you. At the end of the day, it's your money. We want to get you off to a good start. 3% is a decent way to start. It's amazing how much a small amount of money early in your career can turn into something much larger later in life. If you'll put some money in the 401k, we'll match it. Here's how the match works. For every dollar that you put in, we'll put in a minimum of 15 cents and a maximum of 25 cents. Most often it is 25, but that's not guaranteed. It depends on how the company is doing. And that's an incentive for all of us to share in the profits and to make sure the company's hitting the targets that we need to hit. But if you put a dollar in, for sure you'll get a 15% match, and more likely you'll get 25. Over time, that money will grow, and when it's time for you to retire, you can begin to take some withdrawals. So that money is there as a supplement to Social Security. Those two things together, if you've got your financial life in order when it's time to retire, you can retire really well. For the 3% automatic enrollment, we automatically put that 3% in what's called a target fund. That's a fund that is optimized to give the best return based on when you think you're going to retire. Now, you don't have to leave it in that target fund. As a matter of fact, I encourage you to go look through all the options and make sure the one that you choose is best for you. If you need help with that, there's a number of resources that are available. One thing we cannot do, the Human Resources team cannot offer you investment advice. But we can get you connected with people that can if that's what you're looking for. So I encourage everybody to take advantage of the 401k. You're automatically enrolled at a 3% level. You can increase that if you choose to, and it's all pre-tax, which is a great way to save. In addition to 401k, there are two other benefits that I think are really, really important. And I want to dial in on these two really quickly, and I'm going to come back to this later when I show you how all the pieces fit together. The two pieces are short-term disability and long-term disability. So about half of our employees are technicians, and working on equipment is hard on a body. Sometimes people get hurt, and if you get hurt, first of all, our safety crew is amazing. We always want everybody home safe every single day, period. Everybody comes home. Sometimes accidents happen, and when they do, if it's in the workplace, generally speaking, there's work comp. But if you work with your body for a living, and you are injured and you cannot do that work, how will you provide for your family? How will you provide for yourself? Your cell phone bill doesn't stop because you're injured. Neither does your mortgage or the need to buy groceries. If something happens to you on the weekend, you're not even in the office. Short-term disability can provide income replacement up to 60% of last year's pay. Why 60%? It's all about tax. The short-term disability benefit generally is not taxed. 60% of what you made last year is very close to your take-home pay. Short-term disability will run for up to 13 weeks. At the end of 13 weeks, if you still need help with a short requalification visit to a doctor, long-term disability kicks in and can go up to 2 years at 60%. For those two amazing benefits, the company charges each employee that works here $0 and 0 cents. No cost. No cost. This will cover you if you have an accident outside of work. Think about that. You're doing something that generally offers no benefit to the company, but we cover you anyway. Why is that? We want you to get healthy and come back to work whole. We hope you understand that we take our responsibility to care for you very seriously. And we go above and beyond what's required by law, which is workers' compensation. But we do that as we are required. Short-term disability and long-term disability are two of the most amazing benefits. We charge every employee nothing in premiums. Our government does require that you pay a small amount of tax on the premium. We can't fix that. We tried to fix it. The only way we fix that is vote. That's it. We're down to that, okay? But there's no cost to you for the premiums. There is a third benefit that goes along with short-term disability and long-term disability, and this is the one that I sincerely hope nobody in the company ever uses, and that is life insurance at 1.5 times your annual salary. Please don't use that one. But if you need it, if something happens on the job or off the job, the company will provide life insurance, 1.5 times last year's salary, to help your family as you go. Again, please don't. So, life insurance, long-term disability, short-term disability, 401k. My favorite combination for all of you, put money in your 401k. Don't use short-term disability because you didn't get hurt. Don't use long-term disability because you didn't get hurt bad. And dear Lord, don't use the life insurance. Take the money out of your 401k and have a nice retirement. That's my favorite option. Let's talk about a couple other really important benefits. PTO. Anybody know what PTO stands for? Everybody should. What is it?
Paid time off.
Paid time off, right. Okay, how cool is this? The company pays you, but you don't have to do anything. Paid time off is really two things. It's holidays, and it's time that you accrue that's available for you to use however you need. Let's start with holidays. There are 6 fixed, nationally recognized holidays. And during those days, for the most part, the company's closed. There are some parts of the company that needs to be open. We try to be flexible with people about those holidays because sometimes our customers need us, even on days like Christmas and the 4th of July. And when they need us, we need to be there. PTO is really important and it augments that. But before I get to PTO, in addition to those 6 holidays, there are 2 floating holidays. I am very pleased that Interstate is a diverse company. We're getting more diverse every single day. Not all of us practice the same religion. Not all of us come from the same backgrounds. Not all of us celebrate the same holidays. There are holidays that are recognized nationally. I think it makes great sense for us to recognize those holidays. We offer 2 floating holidays as well. So if you and your family recognize a holiday that is not as recognized nationally, you have the ability to use one of those floating holidays to celebrate with your family. It's very important. Now, in addition to that, you get paid time off. So paid time off is, I think, one of the greatest benefits. And our PTO is extremely flexible, far more than any other package I've seen. From the very first day that you work with the company, you begin to accumulate PTO, and you can use it right away. My opinion, that is your time. You earned it as part of your compensation package. Some companies require that you take vacation or paid time off in half-day or full-day increments. We don't, because life doesn't always happen in half-day or full-day chunks. If you work for 6 hours on a Tuesday and 2 hours before your normal stop time, your child is playing in a baseball game and you want to go see that baseball game, our PTO is flexible enough to allow you to do that without losing pay for those 2 hours. The only thing we ask with PTO, please check with your supervisor first. That's it. The one thing you can't check with your supervisor first on is if you're not feeling well. PTO is a great benefit if you're sick. So, if you're sick, please let us know as soon as you know that you're not going to be available. And for the other paid time off, use it in whatever increments that you need. Closing on a house next Wednesday, the closing's going to take 2 hours. Why burn a whole day of vacation? If you need 2 hours, take 2 hours and leave the rest. If you want to take a longer lunch to enjoy some time with family, do it. It's your time. Please just communicate with the company, let us know, and make sure your supervisor's okay with it so that we can cover your job and make sure that our customers get the service that they need from us. Well, we've covered a lot of ground. There's a lot of topics. But before we move on to the conclusion, one thing that is really underutilized inside the company that I want to encourage all of you to think about is educational assistance. Now, I see some people in the room that have taken advantage of the educational assistance, and I am thrilled. If the company, in addition to the great work that you do and the compensation package that we put in front of you and all of these benefits, which I think are market and should be fair or better than fair, please take advantage of this to move your life forward. If there's something that you're interested in learning that can help you be a better professional, we would love to help you with that. There's one simple rule with educational assistance. We have to be able to make a very straightforward case that the things that you're learning are good for you and also useful for the company. Since we're paying the bill, I think that's fair. But if you're in the accounting department and you want to get smarter and pursue a college degree if you don't have one, we'd be glad to help you with that. If you're interested in educational assistance, talk with the folks in Human Resources. We'll make sure that everything's lined up. We would love to help you. One of the things that I promised to do earlier when we started all of this is take a quick second and take you through the arc of how all the benefits work together. One of the things I don't hear people talking about is what happens if you actually get sick. It's really simple. We all talk about the cost of health insurance. None of us like paying the premiums. And dear Lord, the insurance company is never going to call us and offer money back if we don't use it. How are all these pieces designed to fit together? Very straightforward. Imagine for a moment you're sick and it's not particularly serious. You might dial into telemedicine and talk with a board-certified physician and find out it might be more serious than you think. If the doctor suggests that you get in for an office visit, please do that. Maybe while you're in for the office visit, you find out that there's something more serious wrong. The health insurance plan is there and designed to help you cover the cost of that. There are important limits and important mechanical ways that it does that. But the most important thing is that it is designed to help you cover the cost of the medical care that you're going to need. So your medical care is covered, but you're still not able to work. You weren't injured on the job. There's no work comp claim. You didn't slip in the parking lot or hurt yourself in a warehouse. Good Lord, please don't. But you're still hurt and you still can't work and you still got bills to pay. You got a mortgage, you got a cell phone bill. Maybe you've got kids in college. I don't know. Car payments. Short-term disability kicks in for you. You paid $0.00. But you are now resting comfortably knowing that for the next 13 weeks, something very close to your normal take-home pay is going to hit your bank account so that you can be home, follow your doctor's orders, and focus not on, man, I got to get back to work because I got bills to pay, but focus on, thank God, I have the opportunity to cover those costs so that I can recover properly and get back to work healthy. If 13 weeks is not enough, a short requalification gets you on long-term disability. Things happen. To us, to our spouses, to our family members. We've helped people through cancer, and they don't have to worry about how they're going to care for their family. These are tremendous benefits. The cost of the medical care is covered through the health insurance. Their income is replaced through the short-term and long-term disability. They can focus on getting better, first for themselves and their family. And once they're whole, we sure hope they'll come back, because we needed them, and we still do. I would love to take some questions if you have some. Sir, yeah, hang on a second. Let's get a microphone. Get a mic on that guy.
You touched on PTO. Like HSA rolls over, you don't have to use it that year. From a PTO perspective, we have workers that don't have the opportunity to use all their time. So what they accrue, does that roll over? Or does that have to be used in that same calendar year? What's our rules with that?
That's a great question. So let's start with PTO use. First of all, PTO is there to use, and we provide PTO as a benefit because we all need breaks. We just do. If all we do is show up and work, you're going to burn up. So PTO, part of PTO and our strategy with PTO is giving you the ability to take a break on a periodic basis, to do things that refresh your mind and refresh your body. Sometimes the business gets busy, or sometimes people don't have anything in particular they'd like to do. If you can't burn up all your PTO in the first year you're with the company, the excess PTO is allowed to roll over. In the second year, if you still haven't taken a break, we're all the way to the end of 24 months, and you haven't taken any time, you're going to lose some. That is by design. Some people think that's mean. I'm telling you it's not. We do it that way for one simple reason. You need to take a break. Rest, refresh, come back focused. We'll be okay. You'll be okay too. And if you don't have anything you want to do, I've got a whole list of chores at my house. If you want to come over and do those while you're taking a break, you're welcome to come over, okay?
I think you've convinced all of us that your favorite benefits are the health assessment and also telemedicine. So as a third option, what other benefit could you mention that you wish people took more advantage of?
Yeah, great question. Well, again, I'll start with the opposite of that. We've all covered, I don't like it when you take advantage of the life insurance. Please don't do that. And short-term and long-term disability are there. But boy, I would love for us to be a 100% injury-free workplace where those things are not needed. Even if it's an injury-free workplace, you can still get sick. And I don't want that for anybody, but if you do, we're there to help you. And we'll help you however we can. From an underutilized perspective, my educational assistance doesn't get used as much as I'd like. Now, we focus a lot on professional training inside the company, and we spend a huge amount of money, literally millions of dollars every year, training our professional staff, our technicians, our parts professionals. We also do some vocational-based educational assistance where it's not really assistance, we just pay for the training. But there are things that the company is not in a position to train you on. If you want to work on your college degree, and we can make a good case that there are some courses in your college degree curriculum that are applicable at work, we may be able to help you out with that. So I really encourage people to be thinking about what can you do to build your own skills and how can the company help you with that? Please don't assume that the company will help you with that. Please start a conversation with your supervisor, and if you need, talk with HR. Please know that we do want to help. There's a few rules the company has to follow. We need to honor those. But inside those rules, there's some latitude. And if we can help people get a little smarter or move their career forward, we like to do that. Thanks for the question.
I had a question regarding the telehealth medicine.
Yep.
You said that starts at the point that you start working for the company. I just want to clarify, it's on day one that you start, or is there a waiting period?
Great question. It is not on day one, but the waiting period is very short. It will be the first of the month after the month that you hired on. So if you hired on with us today, it's the middle of January. February 1st, telemedicine will be available for you to use. Available for you and anybody else that's a dependent in your home.
How did you get involved in developing what the benefits package looks like?
Yeah, great question. I'm certainly not a benefits consultant. I don't do this for a living. The benefits package is one of the most important parts of the compact that we make with every single employee. The basic compact we make with every single employee is, here's a job we have for you to do and you seem interested in that job. Here's how much we're willing to pay you. If you show up and do that job, we'll give you a paycheck every 2 weeks. That's the basic deal that everybody gets. Our job is to make sure that the lights are on, the doors are open, and that the paychecks show up every 2 weeks, right? I'm going to tell you that since 1957, we haven't missed once, not one time. And we don't plan to start now. Now, in addition to that, there are so many other things that the company can and should do to help you enjoy a great life. And we want you to be rested, we want you to be healthy, we want your family to be healthy, so that when we're all working together, you can be focused and we can go do good stuff for our customers. I specifically got involved because it's critically important to our employees. And our CFO, Larry Schwartz, amazing guy, been my wingman for 25 years. Larry is all over this. Our human resources group does an outstanding job of helping us understand what the options are. My job on that team is to do the very best that I can do, to pay attention to how employees are actually using the program. And when I'm in the field, to take time like we're taking today, to talk with all of you and every one of the employees that I get to talk to and find out what's working and what isn't. I can't promise you that all of these elements are here for eternity. What I can promise you is things may be added or taken away, but it will be based on feedback we get from employees. It's very important that we get feedback on the benefits package. If things are interesting to us and we think they're going to be great, but you don't think they're that great, we need to hear about that. If we missed it in some meaningful way, we need that feedback. I still don't know if there's any way to put together a perfect package for benefits. No matter what we do, there might be one thing that is extra that people don't want, or one thing that's missing that people would desperately like to have that just doesn't make sense for us. But we do really try to take all the input and feedback we get from the employees and put together a package that works for just about everything.
Hey, speaking of 401k,
Sir.
Preparing for retirement, not saying I'm retiring, but preparing for retirement, when does the 401k kick in and how is that the funds dispersed when you do retire?
Yeah, that's a great question. I may need some technical help to get this one right, but I can get you the broad brushstrokes. The federal government mandates when you can begin to take money out of your 401k without penalty, usually 59.5, at least it used to be. The federal government also says that when you reach a certain age, you must take money out of your 401k. You may not leave it in there anymore. So inside those markers, you are allowed to take that money out at whatever pace you choose. The downside to doing more money in a shorter period of time is that when you take your money out of your 401k, it's taxed, just as if it were a paycheck or regular income. So how much you take out, how fast you do it, it's really up to you. But there is a point in time or an age, if you withdraw before that, you actually have to pay a penalty, which is why the loans are available. So if you need to get money out for an emergency from your 401k, you take a loan, there's no penalty on the loan, you pay that loan back basically to yourself. You know, again, it's better if you don't do that, but if you need that money, you can do it. But when you hit the minimum retirement age, the 401k kicks in, you're allowed to take as much of that out in a year as the government will allow. The more you take out, the more tax you'll pay. And then after you hit a certain age, I should know these numbers off the top of my head, after you hit a certain age, they force you to take money out. Even if you don't need it, don't want it, they're like, no, you got to do it. Plus you have to take Social Security and yeah. You want to see the government, people in the government's head explode? Tell them you don't want your Social Security check. They literally don't know what to do with that. Really. So many reasons.
So my question revolves around the benefit package as a whole, and how do you feel it compares in relation to, say, other companies that are either within our network or even outside, just in general?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I think it's maybe the most important question we can ask on this topic. When we have comparison questions, the thing that we hear most often is that somebody across town has cheaper health insurance. Probably true. If all we wanted to do was provide cheap health insurance so that we could check the box for every employee, we could do that. But we think that our responsibility is higher than that. We ask that hard question: what actually happens when you get sick? We've spent some time today so you understand how I feel about our program and why we're choosing to spend money where we spend the money. I think other companies don't put that level of thought into it, and certainly most of our peers don't put that level of thought into it. Imagine if the only benefit that we offered was the benefit that we're asked about most often, which is inexpensive health insurance. What happens when you get sick? What are the limits of the coverage with that inexpensive health insurance? How will you pay your bills if you're so sick that you can't come to work? How can you provide for your family? What benefits do the other companies put up to help you through that event of not being well? Our insurance sometimes is a little more expensive, but we do check very carefully, and it's not a lot more expensive. And oftentimes we're a little less expensive than others. Where the benefits package shines is when the health insurance plus the rest of the benefits come together. Telemedicine for $0, free access to a doctor. Their monthly premium might be a little less, but if they don't offer the telemedicine for $0, every time you need to do something like that, it's hundreds of dollars out of your pocket. It's kind of like buying a car. You can make any car make sense if you don't take a look at how much fuel it uses and what it'll cost to maintain it. But when you take a look at all the costs that go along with owning a vehicle, or all the costs that go along with owning a home, the math sometimes changes dramatically. So the health insurance is an important component. We believe that our health insurance is very competitively priced. And in addition to that, $0 for short-term and long-term disability, $0 for telemedicine. Use that as many times as you want. Life insurance, 1.5 times your annual salary. PTO, holidays. So take a break, be healthy. Take a free health assessment. Understand if you have a health risk item. Use preventative care opportunities that are included at no additional charge with the health insurance. Get on top of the health so you don't lose time in the first place. All these things are there and available to use.